Good morning, family and friends, and I hope this morning finds you well. I'm back, and I'm tired. Last week we did not do a stream because I was feeling like poop and just dragging butt and just not feeling well at all. But I'm better now. I'm still feeling a little blah, but I'm much better. Good morning, Pantsless Pirate Games. That would be Captain Dander Greybeard joining us. And I'm having a good cup of dander right now because Captain Greybeard takes his coffee black. And I'm out of creamer, so I'm having a cup of Captain. How you doing? I've got a lot of stuff to cover before we get into our project today. I'm just kind of waiting and letting other people filter in. Well, I'm glad you're doing fine, Captain. I hope everything's going well, that your project is giving you some fruit, or if it doesn't, then the work that you're putting in now will bear fruit in the near future. But for now, you're mine for the day, or at least for an hour or two, and I'm glad that you're here, mate. Speaking of Captain, and speaking of the Pantsless Pirates Gaming, which, by the way, if you want to see some shenanigans, you should go over there and check them out on Facebook. We also, I believe, have a YouTube channel and a Twitch channel where you can watch either Captain play games or you can watch us as a guild, which is Delayed Expectations, run around and get into all kinds of trouble with family and friends, as it were. And it's always a good time. You should check them out. But let's address the elephant. Well, the elephant in my room, anyway. Let's talk about Scuttled. The Kickstarter, I went ahead and canceled it because we were not going to reach our goal, and that's okay. That was a failure. Not really. It was actually one step closer to getting a success. We learned a lot of information. We got amazing advice from friends, family, and people who had done Kickstarter in the past who had some great advice for us. So, the Kickstarter is currently no longer live, but that's okay. This game will get made, this game will get produced, and will get out there. It's just going to take us a couple of tries. And so here's what we're thinking about doing. Here's some of the plans that we have, is that we're going to look at production and see if there's a way to streamline our production pipeline to make it more accessible and bring the costs down for everybody. We are going to look at our shipping, because that's where over half of what we were trying to raise was shipping to us and then shipping back out to you guys. So we're going to see if we can figure out a better way to do that. The game is tight, the game is solid, the game is balanced, and it plays very well. However, we're gamers. We're always looking to add something or tweak this or tweak that. And so we're going to look at things in our playtests that we may or may not add to the game. I do know that there is nothing in this box that we're taking away. The game just works too well as is and is way too much fun. And when people play this, even though they think it's like Uno, it has Uno-esque qualities to it. But this game does not play like Uno, and it's too much fun backstabbing your friends with this version of the card shedding game. So this is coming back. This is not going away for long. It's just right now we need to kind of regroup and think about it, figure out where it is we want to go, and see how we can improve on the process. Like I said, we got a lot of great advice, and there's a lot of you out there that said they wanted this. We just didn't have the traction we were looking for to hit that number, which was a very big, scary number. I will admit that. But I think we can hit that number, but we're going to see what we can do to make it easier. So, for now, Scuttled will not be available until our next attempt at the Kickstarter. And guarantee you, I will let you know when that's going to be, because I have faith in this game. Everybody who's worked on this game has faith in this game. And with that much positive feedback and energy, this can't fail. It's just, all right, let's see how we can improve. And that's where we're going. So enough about that. Just wanted to put that on the record and get that out there. Good news, hopefully, as soon as I figure some stuff out, there have been improvements to the chain reaction infrastructure. Very small one. Basically, I found an old camera, and it's an old it's an old TI3 or T3i. Yeah, T3i with a bunch of lenses and things like that. And it's not so old as to not to be able to be plugged into a computer. Everything I own is pretty old. It's got some great lenses because it's Canon. This will make a great addition to what I do here for Chain Reaction Studios, as well as the 28mm build, which is my other page where I build buildings and things for 28mm war games and role-playing games and whatnot. So I'm really looking forward to seeing if I can put this together and use it for that, as well as improve the quality here in this studio. So there's a little bit of fun and shenanigans right there. And if you don't think I wasn't playing with it just before this broadcast, you would be wrong. I was having a ball trying to figure out how to make this work. But patience. And this whole process was scuttled from the very beginning to now. From the first night we said we could do that to now has been a lesson in patience and centering and grounding. I have seen us as a group catch so many mistakes that I have made, be it spelling errors, wording errors, things that were not clear, layouts that were difficult, so forth and so on. So this has definitely been a season of patience. And this is what I would urge you to do. You know, you have to be willing to fail. Because if you don't fail, you can't succeed. And we learn more from our failures than we do from our successes. And I don't see what has happened up to this point as failures, but merely wonderful steps that allow me to move forward. So, didn't happen this time, but I got the information I need to go forward. So, speaking of going forward, let us go over to our project. We have Onslow here. Now, I have some modeling things I want to do with Onslow today. There are lots of little things and tweaks that need to happen for this character to be a little more viable. For example, you know, we've got this weirdness going on over here by the elbow that needs to be dealt with. There are some things I want to do with the boots. The face is in a pretty good spot right now. I'm a little bit happier with his slack-jawedness. And then the face is the only thing that has any kind of texture on it right now. So, well, and that and the eyes. And I'm really happy with those eyes, although I'm rethinking this design a little bit. But Onslow is getting there. And what we're going to do with Mr. Kensington, because that is his name, Onslow Kensington. I believe he's the third. I know he's the second. Is to work on those areas of the model that need a little help. I think last time we were playing around with him, I was on this sword doing the nicks and chips. So I need one more nick up here on this sword, which we'll put in a little bit. And just generally have some fun. So what I have done, we're going to hide everything but what's been selected. So we just have the body, which there's a couple things I do need to do with this body. And one of the things I did, it was kind of a subtle thing that only means anything to me, is I simplified my life a little bit so that when I'm working on one side of the model, I get symmetry on the other side of the model. So here's what I did, is I cut old Onslow's body in half, and then I use a modifier called symmetry, which doesn't just create a reference of it, it actually mirrors the model and then welds the model, because I have my welding threshold set up here. So it's welded down the center so that when I do something like mesh smooth, it doesn't do anything funky on those joints. See, although this is a pretty good joint, if I were to drop down to symmetry, you can see this is not flat and then when I turn this on, it tries to make it a little more flat. And actually, one of the simple things I need to do is probably cap that. So let's do that, see what the results are. It will probably end poorly, but that's why we're here. Shenanigans! So I am going to, that's the best way to do this. It's probably just create, oops, no, we're not doing that. No, stop it. Yeah, actually we are doing that, but we'll do this. We'll say, first things first, and let's turn the create back on, and we're going to just draw polygons. Hopefully we'll get it the first time. Uh-oh, this could prove interesting. Did we get it the first try? Ooh, look at that. That never happens. Well, what do you know? Miracles do happen. Not a huge fan of what this is doing. It's because of the way it's distributing the polygons along the shape here. So I think I'm going to do something else first. I'm going to grab this center. No, we're not creating one. Although technically that's what I'm doing. We're going to grab the center polygon, and then if I hold down my shift button and move, what it does is it creates. And so now we have this vertice, which I know I need at 0x. And then from there, I think I can go to face create, gives me that vertice to build off of, and I would much prefer to do it like this. Hey Ashley, how you doing? I'm sorry, I have not been paying attention. You got this, and can't wait to see what is next to come. Thank you very, very much. I think it would be super cool if you made you as Lord Gregory Coxcomb. Nope, actually Gregory and Coxcomb are spelled correctly. The fop, huh? Oh, the animations I could get into and the trouble I could get into with playing me. All right, let's go ahead and build this. I want to build these individual because what is going on here? There we go. Just because I think it'll lay better. If you notice that from some of the other angles, these back vertices were lower, like this one here is much lower, and so it was kind of being a pain. There we go. Hell yes, the fault. Alright, we'll figure it out. I am blowing the dust off of some really old skills, so his grace may make it upon the screen yet. Alright, I like that, and I am going to give it its own little smoothing group so that when we do the mesh smooth, it'll do its own thing. There we go. Apparently it also gave it its own color, which, you know, I'm okay with that. Alright, so now we have a spot for that head to sit on later, and I don't have a big hole in my model. And I'm better with that. That works for me just well enough. Before I tackle the elbows, I think, since we're on a roll here, we are going to give him a little bit of boot flare. So we're going to come back down here. And I got to plan this out just a little bit, but I'm having to do it down here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab these boots right there. I'm going to create a slicing plane and drag it where I want it, which should be, oh, you know what? I have back facing on, don't I? Let's turn that off. Ignore back facing. Sometimes you want it on, sometimes you want it off. Who knew? Okay, now let's create a slice plane and drag it to where I want. I just want to put a little bell, a little bit of a bell on his boot. Not much of one. Let's center this a little more in the boot. Let's give me that little draw error. Okay, be that way. And okay, I have snap on. Let's turn the snap off so I can get a nice kind of smooth. Alright, And I think down just a little bit more. It's not going to be pirate boot like, but I kind of want to hint at a little bit of design flair. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and slice and give myself that line. I'm going to turn that off. There's the line in question. We're going to, yes, that worked the way I wanted it to. Oh my gosh, something doing what it's supposed to do. Now, for this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to flare the bottom out a little bit, so I'm not too worried about the top. So I am going to chamfer this. That gives me, oops, I could really go nuts with this, can't I? Don't want to go that nuts. That just a little bit. And then what I'm going to do is I'll turn that off. I'm going to select this edge, say I want the whole ring, and then from above, for just a little bit of a bell on that boot, and then drag it down just a little bit. Now I know this is going to get weird, so I'm going to grab this face, grab all of those faces, I hope. Let's make sure I got everything. We did. And I'm going to give them a different smoothing group so that when I turn this back on, there we go. Just a little detail, not a whole lot. Looks like it did something kind of funny over here. I'm going to have to look at why it's doing that a little bit. But it seems to be doing what I want it to do. And so this is why I approached it the way I did. Yeah, why is it doing this little... And I know it has something to do with that cut. That's alright. Gives me something to work with. Alright, so let's come down here. And let's look at the vertices that are making up that piece. And look at that. What's going on here? Whoa. That's a mess. There's the hands in the way, casting shadows. Alright, so what is going on here? It's not quite what I thought needed to happen. So let's weld. Let's see what happens if all I do is target weld this. And let's turn on the symmetry again and see what happens. It still has a bit of a kink in it, but that's okay. At least now it's a little more manageable. And the kink is really this guy right here. So let's turn this off. Let's put on edge faces so I can see what's going on here. And let's see if we can move. Oops, I don't know what I grabbed. Let's ignore back facing again. Sometimes you want it, sometimes you don't. Alright. I think it has a lot to do with the way this was built originally, because there's some weirdness in general going on here. So let's grab this one and this one as well. And from the top, let's move. Oop, look at that. That's interesting. Look at that. There are two lines there. Well, that's the problem. There's your problem. Alright. Knowing that, what happens if I delete? I lose that face and only that face. Lose that up there. And I lose, wow. Hand, get out of my way. Alright. Interesting. But not insurmountable. Okay. When you build things, sometimes things are ugly. Next practice is putting Hansel in heels. I was going to give him about a little 1-inch heel, you know, cowboy heels. Not quite as cowboy. We'll work on it. I'm not paying attention. Thank you for the likes, by the way. I'm not paying attention. I'm in my own little bubble today, not paying attention to my likes and stuff, and I apologize. We're going to clean this up here. The leg is going to be the dominant thing I want to protect. So, let's see. Do I have the inset still in the boot? It's hard to tell. Don't think it is. Hang on. Yeah, are things going on? I can't predict. Alright. Let's just see what we can do. Nope, not slice plane. Wrong thing. We want to create, not slice. Let's go from here. Gotta get my 3D goggles back is what's going on. Alright, we're gonna do from here to there. Could have just capped that, but alrighty. That makes a little more sense, although I don't know what's going on there or why that oh, I see why. Okay, I'm gonna go full screen here. Boink! Which is probably easier for you guys to see what's going on a little bit. I have this triangle right here. Dink. Dink. Let's put that into place. Alrighty. And then let's create this face right here. Basically, I'm having to recreate everything I just blew away. And I could do this an easier way, but I need the practice. Awesome. Alright, let's take a look underneath the bell, see if there's anything that needs to be adjusted. Nope. Alright, I am going to deselect these faces here because they're doing already... Uh-oh. Are you not letting go? Alright. That works. So let's get some information. This is ID 2, which tells me what kind of material's on it. And then they are smooth in group 3, which is important so that everything smooths out when I put the mesh smooth on it correctly. And we know there's this one, and then there's the little triangle that we had to create in here. So we're going to make these ID 2, so they have the boot on it, and then what did we say it was? 3, and smoothing group 3, and then we put everything on there. Actually, let's just go all the way up to the top, a little bit easier to see what's going on. Take that off, turn that off, see what it looks like, and a completely unexpected result. Huh. I told you I needed the practice. Well, bugger! What's going on here? Well, it seems like to me that this... Oh, it is a completely different smoothing group. So let's fix this, shall we? Also looks like it's a little too flat over here. So there's some things that need to be adjusted. There we go, sort of. Why is this still acting weird? It's almost as if this wasn't attached. Oh, the joy, the joy. Well, let's grab these. Let's turn that back on. Let's grab these. How many vertices are there? There are 2 vertices there. Who knew? Well, apparently the program knew. Now there's 1 vertice there. Let's see how many are here. Somehow when this got built, it was kind of ugly and sloppy. Okay, we we only have one vertex there and one there. So if I were to do this, well, at least it's acting a little more predictable. It's not the way I want it though, but it's at least more predictable. Looks like we have a similar problem down here. So let's grab this verticine. There are two there. Let's collapse them. There we go. And something bizarre is going on here. Oh man. Trying to zoom in and it's going, nope. Gotta make it difficult on you. Okay, that is not helpful. Okay, yes, there's supposed to be two vertices selected there. But why is this one acting that way suddenly? Alrighty. Just wants to be a pain in my patootie is what it is. Alright, we can work with this. Let's see what happens if I use edge and just kind of move this thing back inside the... That's not... No. Stop it. Let's try this way. Nope. It's just going to slide along there. Alright, so let's turn edge off. And let's just push this calf back into the boot. And I'm still getting some weirdness between these vertices. It's one vert. Okay, is the smoothing group off? Which is what it feels like. Okay. What about you? Aha! There's your problem. Alrighty. I'll fix it. Let's check the rest. Make sure. Yeah. Oh, that's supposed to be like that. It's not the one I want. I want that one. That one. Okay, now can I have the one on the inside of that? No. Sigh. Gonna make me do this all the hard way. So that's where that really is. I want that one. That's supposed to be 3, not 2. That's supposed to be 3. Oh, maybe I made them 2s so that I get an inset. But let's see what it looks like with all being 3s now that I'm doing the bell. And make sure that's a 3. No. Not a 2. And then I go, let's show the final result. That's not too bad. That works a little better. More betterer, as the Australians would say. I'm in a work meeting, but wanted to show my support, so I can't hear yet. Once the meeting is over, I'll turn up the volume. Well, thank you very much. I know that you're not hearing this, but thank you, Breathing Karma. So there we go. That's a little better. Whoop, whoop. Look what it's showing me, though. Oh, look at that. That's not supposed to be like that. Let's turn that. See? Something's lying to me. There's 2 vertices there. Let's collapse them. There we go. Little better. Not that in the grand scheme of things, because this is a cinematic model as opposed to a game model. I can get away with a lot more, but it's nice to be clean just so everything, you can make sense of everything a little bit better, basically. Alright, and I've got very subtle details on him, so alright, we're going to turn the edge facing off, go back to our 4 squares. Pink. And put this one back in front view. And let's take a look at him here. So I didn't want to do too much, but those boots were looking a little plain. Now I can, accentuate that bell a little bit, and kind of looking at them, I might. Doesn't need a lot, and it's not like it's going to get animated or flop around or anything. Just needed a little detail on the boot. So now that we have that detail there, and now that everything's working, we'll we'll try to play around with it a little bit here. So let's go back to where we were and turn this off. It shows us the end result of everything, and I'm going to grab. Now let's do crossing. That's dink. There we go. And let's turn back face on or off. There we go. Now, let's drag everything down just a little bit, and then let's grab this one and let's make it just a little bit bigger. Why? Because we can. Let's see what that looks like. Got a result we can live with? I think so. Yeah, I like that a little bit better. It's a little closer to the characters I draw, which ultimately this experiment's for. Now that I do have that, I think I might chamfer the edge of this. Do I wanna? Do I not? I don't know. I mean, that sharp edge doesn't bother me that much. I really don't like it. I can do other things. So let's leave it alone. Next up for bid is this horrible thing I did to his elbow. And if my experience with the boot's any indication, it might be something as simple as there's a bad smoothing group in here someplace. I'm hoping, because let's go to the big screen. Weak. So the problem's here, and it does look like I have a very similar situation. So let's turn on. Yeah, see, I have 3. Okay, still shouldn't be giving me the smoothing group issues that it was, which is really interesting. Let's go to end result, see what it's doing and where. Well, it is pinching and doing weirdness. We saw that with the boot. This is very similar to what was happening with the boot, which kind of tells me there's an extra polygon or a face sitting in here. So let's turn the result off. Actually, you know what? Let's see if we can cheat a little bit. Hey, let's click on this one. Nope. That one. It's starting to tell me that I have a hit. There it is. And it's this one. I really don't want that so flat, but deal with that in a little bit. Let's do something I might regret. Let's grab this and let's collapse this into a single vert there, and let's see how that changes. Well, it does change this, and that's in a predictable manner, so that's better. So we have a very similar event here, and again a very similar set of 3. So let's collapse that, and again we get a predictable result. So it was nice to know that was easy than I thought it was going to be. We have again more of these areas, so yeah, apparently that's all it needs is just a little cleanup. We're just going to clean these up. And we are getting predictable results, which is really nice. That usually is not what happens. So Alrighty. Just looking things over. Let's grab this edge and this edge, and we are going to chamfer them. Just give me a little more to work with here. I got a funny feeling this is going to be an issue down the road, but we will see. I'm worried about this collapsing on me when I go to flex the character's wrists and stuff. I'm afraid this is going to collapse like a straw, a paper straw, when you go to suck on it with, after it's been in the milk too long. Just don't want that. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is there's a point here and a point in the back of the hand there. So this triangle and this, I'm going to run a cut through here to give me some vertices to play with. And then let's see if there's a similar one on the palm. Sort of, kind of. I don't want to tear this up that much, though. I've got a lot of things in here. But if I take this vert and this vert, and then take these two verts, go into this view, and this is so flat that what I want to do is round it just a little bit. I might take more than just those two inner verts. Let's add the other vertices along the line, and let's see what kind of result. I'm making this stuff up as I go, by the way. These are not hard and tried rules. This is just me feeling it out. It's a little bit better. Let's see what it looks like. This is just me feeling out the model, and that's better. I might do some different things down the road, and all the changes I make on one side are going to be reflected in the other, so that's not so bad. That's not so bad at all. Okay, let's turn this off. I'm going to turn on my edge. So what's going to happen is when I go to move these vertices, they're going to move along the edge here, as opposed to just randomly moving in free space. I can position them a little bit better for my needs. That's the bicep, so that's going to look a little funny. And okay, so back to this. We'll use him to look at. Alright. Wow, I've accomplished my goals today. And we're not even an hour in. Alright. I'm going to save because I have not been a good artist. And I have not saved often. So I am currently saving. We've made, we've hit a milestone. We wanted to achieve certain things. And I believe we have been successful. So I'm going to turn edge facing off on here, and then we're just going to come up to the finished product without textures, and let's take a look at old headless Onslow. I have other heads I can stick on this guy, by the way. Doesn't have to be the slack-jawed Onslow, although I think Ashley Bird and I have all fought our fair share of slack-jawed knights. Let's take a look what's going on in here. Let's just make sure this is working the way I want it. Yeah, so let's do an unhide all. I'm going to regret this because there's so much stuff in this scene now. Alright, things I was using to gauge sizes and things, so we don't need all of these. We can delete these. We'll keep this one. We'll just hide it. Hide selected. We don't need the background. We don't need the eyeballs. Why do I have eyeballs laying around? Well, in the animation I'm going to do, I'm going to use something called morph targets, which means I could take a model, let's say it has 6 vertices, and vertices are numbered 1 through 6. And if I take the model and I take vertice number 1 and move it over here, so that it now has this big long spike on it, and create that as a morph target, over time I can animate that stretching out. In this case, I have an eyeball with a black plate, or a little cylinder inside for the iris. And as I open and dilate the irises, all I got to do is basically move that plate forward or back. Well, it's part of the model, and so I'm using morph targets so I have control over time on how that moves without getting too complicated in my scene. One less thing to keep track of on model. So we're going to hide selected, and here we are. Oh, we have the lights. Let's... How do I want to do that? It's such a hard thing to hunt down. It's that light. Because it's blue. It's right there. Where is it? There it is. And it's so hard to grab that thing. Crossing? Nope. It doesn't think it's part of a light. It's not a helper. It's this weird non-entity. Sometimes I can hide it, sometimes I can't. It drives me crazy. If I unhide the lights, though, and I say hide selected, did it go away? Yes, it did. So I got to do it that way. Bink. Alrighty. Let's save again. So how's everybody doing out there? I'm going to come over to the live camera for a second. Something large. Want to point out, which side is it on? It's this one. Haha. It's everything's backwards. You see it right there? Ooh, see that thing got put up there? It's up there. Right there. Where is it? There it is. He'll come back. There it is. That's up there. So you can see this down here. It's coming. It's slow. Like a glacier, but it is. And when Breathing Karma can hear me, I actually have some ideas on how to make it so that you can actually buy things from that store. It's still a work in progress, and when it comes to these things, they're always works in progress. But Breathing Karma built me this site, and it's awesome. I love it. We just got to work out I need to work out the imagery that I want on there. He has provided me all the tools that I need to do that, so I'm very happy. All right, we've kind of worked out Ansel a little bit. I'm kind of impressed that he is actually coming together. There are a few things I still want to tweak, but those were some major things. I thought the boots were a little bland, and they're still a little bland. I mean, I could put them in heels, but there's no real need to. I like the moccasin look on him. Let's work on this sword. Let's put that other chip in there. I need a little dink right in there. What do you guys think? I think this sword needs one more chip in it, and it's just a little one right there. I'm going to grab it, and we're going to hide unselected. I'm going to focus on this sword now. I'm going to go front. Let's take a look here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the cut tool to cut out just a little, doesn't need to be that big. About there to there. Did we get it on both sides? We did not. Alright, so this is the front. Center. And then let's go back, which you see there's no thing for. Drives me nuts. And then we're going to cut again, but on the back side. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Imperfections make it kind of cool. Alright, now we're going to, whoops, we're not cutting anymore. Stop it. We're going to grab, nope, we want crossing, and we want faces, and we want those. Let's make sure we got everything. We did. We're going to delete those. And then we're going to create 2 new ones. And there are easier ways to do what I'm doing, but I need the practice. Alrighty. Just a little nick or two for Angela's blade. It's not a lot, but it adds a little bit of character to the piece. And again, it looks a little more like the cartoons that I draw, which is the whole point of this exercise, is to try to draw some characters and things that I can animate in 3D that look like they're part of my world. So, alrighty. You guys having fun out there? Is this something you're enjoying? Do you want me to continue? We're coming up to about just under 15 minutes for the first hour. If we want to go another hour, let me know. I might be able to squeak that in. We'll see. But for today, let's take a look. Do we have a mesh smooth on this sword? We do not. I don't think this sword needs a mesh smooth, quite honestly. It's fine as is. And I think I can add a little more flair to this blade too by just moving some vertices. Let's go back to here. Let's go back to the front. And let's play around with the profile just a little bit. Not a lot. Doesn't need a whole lot. And then we take that off. That gives us a nice little, yeah, a little pommel detail. It doesn't have to be round. Just a nice little pommel detail. Although I think our handle needs to be a little less flat. Actually, you know what? No, I kind of like that. Makes for better grip when it's not perfectly round. Alright, I think we got some good stuff going on here. I'm going to bring up a material editor and just see if I actually have just a material laying around I could put on the pommel. I don't think I do, and if we don't, that's okay. It's not the end of the world. But I was going to put a little gold or bronze or something on the pommel. Just kind of set it aside, you know, make it look a little bit different. There's a bronze. What is this? Is this a bronze? Let's take a look at you. You are kind of a bronzy color, and Angelo's not rich enough to have gold. So maybe a brass bronze thing going on with him. So let's grab our elements here. Nope, nope, nope. Too much. There we go. And then grab these back again. And then let's apply this. Did it change the hilt? Nope. Okay. Alright, let's apply that again. Dink. It's not going to do a lot. But it's so we can go, okay, we have sword. Yeah, it's not great. But we have sword. Oops. That likes to pivot on the object selected, and I had no object selected, so there we go. Bloop, 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 bloop. That looks a little more sword-esque. Do I want to give him a green wrap or do I want to give him a red wrap? This really doesn't matter for this moment. I am looking off at a materials editor. Let me drag this over here for you guys. So you can kind of... Oh, you can't see anything I'm doing at all. Oh my goodness. Alright. I'm playing with materials. These are some materials that are laying around that were in the scene because I borrowed the scene from another model. And this is a way of building materials. What is that all the way down there? It's connected to that. That's connected. So these are shared materials somehow. I'll need to figure out why that's important later. But the bronze that I put on was just this color here. It's a little dark. Maybe I'll take it and make some changes. Let's bring that over here so you guys can see what I'm doing. And I can lighten it up just a little bit. Make it a little more red. A little less red. I think it needs a little more yellow, honestly. Make it more of a brass. I like that better. Let's go ahead and this is just stand-in materials. This is not what it's... There it goes. That looks a little bit better than it did. So here's the sword. Dun dun dun. I was going to do something. The reason I went to the big screen is like, I have a point to make. I don't remember what the point was. You guys out there breathing? All four of you? Alrighty. Let's see what the sword looks like. We're going to hit. And we're going to render out the sword real quick. There's not a lot of light in this scene, so that doesn't surprise me. Let's see if we can do it over here. That's a little better. We can get a better idea what it's going to look like. Like I said, there's no textures on this. This is just colors tossed on there. Procedural textures, I guess, for lack of a better word. Just to see, I mean, I've got chrome. I can make that a mirrored surface, but right now there's nothing for it to reflect. And in fact, these are probably metals that I've tossed on here, and there's really nothing for them to affect. Let's see what happens when I do that. I know it's going to do something stupid. But hey, we're here to do stupid things. Let's save, because we're about to do something stupid. And I'm going to throw mesh smooth on the sword, which is going to turn it into garbage, which we expect. And then we're going, oh, look at that. That did show me something. That does not have the right material on it. Let's check this little guy up here. Look at that. We don't have the right materials on there. So it wasn't complete garbage. Let's grab a face. And this face is material 4. So we're going to turn this into material 4. Or material ID 4. That's more correct. I don't think the materials are labeled by numbers. I should name them, but I don't. And material, oh, that's smoothing group 4. That would have a completely different effect. Alright. But since we're in here, I don't think this needs smoothing groups on it, quite honestly. I mean, I was looking at this. This was looking a little polygonal up here. And I could throw a smoothing group on just that, I guess. Let's grab these. Let's see what happens when I do that. And I go smoothing group, and it's not on, just on selected. And do it under groups. A little bit better. Because the rest of this really doesn't need, well, maybe I'll do the handle too. Let's go down. Let's add to our selection. Let's see what happens when we do that. Not a whole lot. Just a little. Let's see, I can, here we go. Just make it a little smoother. Oops. Grab the sword. Yeah, smoothing groups are not the end-all be-all. Wow, this thing is really not wanting to not show what I have selected. But in order for it to work, I have to keep it selected. Interesting. Is interesting. I think I only want it. Oh, well, that's blown out now. Made that mistake. So let's just do it on that. There we go. I like it just on that. And I like it enough. Doesn't need to be that much. I'm going to go ahead and collapse this so that that's permanent. And as you can see, it added a lot more squares and lines and did a bunch of triangles, which is fine. That was expected. And since his hand's going to be around this for the most part, this is the only thing that really needs to look pretty. The rest of this is expected to have hard faceted edges, so we're going to do that. Alright, we're going to save. If I don't like it, I'll just build another one, because, you know, yep, still breathing out there. Yay, people are breathing. Okay, I'm going to come back over here. Yes, coming over to here. That button. I want to take a moment. This is going a little too smoothly. It's like, let's fix this thing. This is probably going to take a little bit. Pink, pink, done. Now what am I going to talk about? I'm going to have a coffee break. And for those of you who are watching this after the fact, if you could do me a favor, for those of you who are watching on YouTube, if you can give me a like, thumbs up, thumbs down if you hate it. I really don't care. It's all good to me. It gives me an idea of what you guys want to see and what you don't want to see. For those of you on Twitch, give me as much love as you can. And then, of course, Facebook, lots of likes and shares would be very much appreciated. And if you want to help me fix some of my studio issues here and just fix my stuff in general, and you want to support me, you can do so at buymeacoffee.com/chainreaction. There you can buy me a little bit of caffeine to fuel my art engine, and hopefully I can be a little more consistent in doing these. I like doing the modeling, I like doing the 2D, and I like to hear from you guys what you want to see. We also have a game coming out called Battle Badges, which is only going to ever be sold at conventions. And fortunately for you guys, there is a convention coming up in September. It's called Tucson Comic-Con. Who knew, right? I gotta quit using that phrase. September 2nd through the 4th at the Tucson Convention Center. I will be debuting, hopefully, a few copies of this game. It'll be in its alpha stage, and I look forward to seeing what you guys think about that. Also, I would love to see everybody who's out in the Tucson area to come and see me, and those of you in Phoenix, it's not that far of a drive. Please come. Some amazing cosplayers out there. I know there's the Fallout cosplay group that's out there. I know the 501st sometimes comes out there. There's a lot of good stuff, good panels, good guests. A lot of artisans. A lot of them tend to be very local artisans, and so you can find that special one-of-a-kind gift for Christmas, which won't be that far around the corner by the time this convention is there. So come on out and check us. I should have the third comic ready by then. No promises. The second one's available, though. So we did a reprint of both the first and second Dungeon Note collection. And I'm going to be working on the third collection just to finish it up. There's just a couple of pages left to do on that one. I'm just trying to find the right pieces. And then that, of course, forces my hand to finish up several projects, which one of which is the greatest adventure ever gone on by any dungeon crawling group ever. I promise. And then, of course, I have some books that I'm working on. So come on out, grab your copies, grab some battle badges, come fight with me. It's a fun little game, and it's a great way to make some random friends too. So again, if you want to buy me a cup of coffee, it's buymeacupofcoffee.com/chainreaction. To quote Daniel, it's the silence that I like the best. Let's do that again. I'm definitely needing the coffee today. All right, let's come back over here, and I think I'm not 100% done with modeling on this character, but I think we're getting a lot closer. I know I have to work on the shield and Onslow's helmet. Let's do an unhide all. And then I probably should just unhide by name, but this is more fun because the eyeballs pop up and freak people out. And speaking of the eyeballs, let's hide this and this, and I'll show you what I was talking about. So I have a teeny tiny iris, and then I have over here, let's see if I can get it into the light, this blown out, holy crap, we're going to die iris. And then we have the base model here, which is what you see in Onslow's head over here. So when I'm ready to do the animations on this, I will create 2 morph targets. I will morph, depending on what I need, either a negative from the original or a positive for the original, so that as he's doing expressions, his irises can move. And the animation I'm recreating, he's definitely going to need that oh crap moment. I'm engineering this character to be a little more expressive than the original character. I can show the animation that I'm trying to recreate, but you cannot hear the animation because, you know, copyrighted music and all that being a thing. But as we get closer, I might show what I'm going to recreate and see what kind of suggestions that you guys come up with. It'll be a lot of fun. We do have a nemesis, a villain, a bad guy, misunderstood guy that Onzo is going to have to be dealing with. Let's put this back to left. Would you guys like to see a peek of what Onslow is going to be dealing with? Let me save. I'll give you guys a moment, because I have to reboot this software anyway. So we're saving. I'm going to the big screen, and I'm going to shut down this software just to clear that area where I had that panel, and then reload it. Oh, Lori wants to see the maybe bad guy, the misunderstood guy, just doing my job guy, enjoying it way too much guy. Onslow's about 5'9" to 6 foot. I haven't decided his scale, but he looks like about a 6 foot guy. He's not even going to come up to this other guy's nipples. Don't know why I said it like that. Not even Scottish. Alright. I'm going to flip back over here. Lori's the only one excited to see this guy. I think the rest of you don't care. I'm not feeling it. Of course I'm going to show him. I'm an artist. Gotta show off. Alright, we're not going to worry about that. This is a version of the character. This is not the definitive. Oh, Pencil Spider wants to see too. Well, hopefully it'll load. It's thinking about it apparently. I want to see. No, I don't. I keep forgetting. Over there, I can see the comments on the screen, so I'm really happy with those. I might tweak them a little bit, but I'm happy with those. Why are you not loading? I said open. Yes, go ahead and change those. Yes, I know the scale's different. And here he is. Yes, he's obsolete. There he is. He needs a lot of love. There it is. Yeah, he needs a lot of love. I can see that his mesh smooths are turned off on a lot of pieces. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, it's on. Why is it? Oh, 0 iterations. Got it. 3. Yeah, I don't like the way this was modeled. So there's some bits that need to be fixed. And let's go smoothing groups. Can you do smoothing groups over here? Probably, just doesn't care. Smoothing groups. That didn't change anything, did it? This is a very old model. Oh, good grief. What is going on here? Oh, this one doesn't even have a mesh smooth on it. Wow. Yeah, very old model. Okay, we're going to take that off. Edit bad things. So meet the Golem. Oh, we have volume now. Yay! I got something to show you, Karma. You ready? Look at the bottom of the screen. Look. Out of my way. Look. Look. Here it is. Let's put this over here. And I think I found a way to deal with the lack of integration problem that we were running into. So I'll hit you up, probably not today, but yes, and I think I found a way to make it a reality. It is a little more cumbersome, a little more clunky, but in the short term, I think it's going to work for us. So give me a day or two, and I'll reach out to you and show you what's going on, or at least what's in my fuzzy little brain. So this is the Golem. He's in his little world right now. Just so I can, let's see what's going on with him. I'm afraid to hit render, but we're gonna hit render and see what he looks like. Lots of reflective surfaces. This is why I didn't want to hit render. Oh, okay. Hang on. I keep forgetting I'm over here. So here he is. Don't mind hard work to make. Thank you very much, sir. No, I don't want to share my screen. You can't make me. All right, here we go. Ready? Pink. There he is. Lots of reflective surfaces. A little too much reflective surfaces. A little too much old 1995? 96? This is an old model. This is a really old model. So this will be the nemesis for the animation that I'm working on. And I thought it would be really fun to drag out one of these old models, make it work. This guy needs a lot of love. Needs a lot of work. I think he needs his head repositioned so he can actually move around. So it looks like the neck's going to come out of the back of his head a little bit. And that's okay, he's a Golem. It's allowed. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to redesign him. He'll be very similar to this, just with more detail. At least that's my hope. And we'll see what happens. But this will be the bad guy, or the misunderstood guy, or just doing my job guy, for the animation I'm going to be working on. And it's just something I'm working on for fun. There's no grand plan to make money off of this. There's no... It's just a little portfolio piece. And I've learned so much since I've built this guy originally. And here's a hint of the history of this character. I had a vision of him, and there's a version of him, or something very similar to him, in the Elder Scrolls arena. Very primitive version of him. Because that was very primitive early days of 3D in games and so forth. We were learning this stuff. We were making it up as we were going along. We had no... I was going to draw cartoon characters, and now suddenly I'm working in 3D. What the heck? So, this character has its roots in the original Elder Scrolls. But this is not... I really want to stress this. This is not the character, the monster from the Elder Scrolls. Well, thank you very much. You finally sat down and played it. I was watching somebody do a run through the game not that long ago, and I was like, oh man, this is painful. Menu screens, a lot of the walls that make up the buildings and the dungeons, a lot of the monsters were done by me. A lot of the animations and the good-looking menu screens were done by a gentleman by the name of Ken Mayfield, and then another artist who was helping us do the stop-motion / go-motion models was Rick Kozlerich. And Rick is no longer with us. But he was an amazing artist. And Brian Brozart, I believe is his last name. I called him Wigglenut. So there were only really 4 artists at any one time, because Brian moved on, and then we got another gentleman who had animation studio background, and I forget his name. It's been so long, and I apologize if you're watching this. But he was an amazing artist in his own right as well. But there were only ever 3 or 4 of us at any given time working on that game, and I think there's a total of 5, 6 artists in the credits, if that. And so doing a huge RPG with that few of people back in the days when you pushed pixels, and we were trying to learn how to push vertices to make push pixels, it was a lot. There was a very green group of people who had no idea what they were doing. Ken was the only person, ultimately, who'd ever worked at another game company, working there after Sheila, our art director, moved on, before Elder Scrolls really took off. And so Ken became the de facto art director, and we didn't know what the hell we were doing. We were literally making this stuff up as we were going along. But those were heady days. Stressful, very stressful. But those were heady days. And we had a lot of freedom and a lot of autonomy to a certain point. So, yeah. It's interesting to watch someone play through that piece of history. History. But anyway, I feel like a rock star talking about the heady days of past. And I'm more about right now, let's make some new heady days of the future. So, this will be our villain. I clearly have way more work to do on him than I thought. He is rigged, I believe. Let's do an unhide all. So he does have a bone structure built into him. That's the advantage of working with an existing model. Let's see, let's grab... Actually, yeah. See, his legs are not even attached to his hips. They're attached to these bone objects, which we could put in to Onslow today. I think this is a made-up rig. And I can grab various bibs and bobs. Will this actually turn? Nope, that's independent of everything. Yeah, I forget where everything's at in this thing. What is that? That's the world. We don't want that. Let's see. Let's hide geometry. What's that? And this is the skeleton that makes up. Yeah, there he is. Our golem. So let's unhide. Thank you. Unhide. Why didn't you unhide all? Alright, fine. No, unhide all is it? You just don't want to draw it. Okay, be that way. See if I care. Anyway. Lots of fun, lots of fun. Don't do quotes. It's gaming history. It was the springboard to bigger gaming stuff, and you are 100% a part of that history. I was privileged to be a part of that team, yes. I was very privileged to work with some amazing people, and I have been privileged to continue to work with amazing people during my career. I've got to do some really fun stuff. I've worked on both coasts and worked in the middle. I have taught. I have been a part of my own, been a founding member of my own company. Dust Devil Studios was something that came out of the ashes of a previous endeavor. It unfortunately was funded by the people who were part of the previous endeavor, and so it didn't work out. But it was definitely a learning experience, and I wouldn't have traded it for the world. I went to a convention. I tell this story often about introducing the public to gaming veterans, and I was in the crowd at the time. I was not there as a guest speaker or anything, and it was a panel of some very amazing veterans of our gaming industry. One would say grizzled old warriors. And the MC was like, hey, people, here's the gaming industry. Hey, gaming industry, tell them some stories. And these guys opened up with a litany of some of the worst horror stories I had ever heard. Travesties, companies, the way they fired people, just things that went wrong on projects, just absolute horror stories about crunch. And at this point, I had already been working in the industry for like 12, 13 years, and I was like, I need another job. Oh my God. But then they flipped it around, and they started telling some of the wonderful things that happened to them, how they affected people's lives, and how emergent gameplay became a thing, and they were watching people play with the toys they created in ways they hadn't thought about, and just these wonderful stories. And so I walked away from that particular panel thinking, being a game developer is absolutely positively the worst experience of your life, and you're going to love every second of it if you're passionate, dedicated, and driven, because it is amazing. And the issues and the problems that you run into as a developer, I think someone said, my very worst day as a game developer is better than most people's best day at any other job. And I would have to agree with that. We worked with some brilliant people over the years, amazing artists, designers, engineers, innovated, made technology that didn't exist because we had a need. So it was fun. Never going to argue that. I am going to load, I know you guys don't see me doing this, but I'm going to load old Onslow back up again. And we're not going to save the golem, because he's saved off anyway. He's not being deleted. But he is definitely going to get rebuilt, and I'll do that here on this channel if this is something that you guys want to continue to see. We are definitely over the hour mark. We're 19 minutes into hour 2, and I've got eyeballs floating around. What the heck? Let's get rid of these eyeballs. So let's hide the eyeballs. Let's grab the sword and the shield, because these are things that we can deal with later. I'm going to remove the pouches. How many pouches do I have on here? It's hide selected. I think it's one more on here. And we're going to leave the helmet. Whoops, wrong button. We're going to leave the helmet. Oh, bugger. hide that. There we go. Just because it annoys me. When I go to do this, it tries to accommodate that line, and so he's always like off center or something. I can't get zoomed in as much as I want. That's the only reason that bothers me. So you saw the animation rig that we had on the golem. I think I might need to actually make these part of this model. I'm talking to myself again, sorry. I think we'll put in a basic rig like this one so it just stands out a little bit on Onslow here, and I don't think we're going to need his eyes or his helmet to begin with, or his teeth and tongue. So we're going to grab these objects, and it's going to look a little weird, sorry. Let's go ahead and hide those for now. Grab his eyeballs. We're going to hide those for now, so he's going to look like a zombie or something. For the moment, and I don't like that color. Unless it's going to change. Okay, cool. It's just a color so I can see him a little bit better. I'm going to create... I gotta remember where this is. It's been that long. I don't remember where the object that I'm after is located. So bear with me. I think it's under Systems. Biped. I believe this is what I want. I have no idea if this is what I want. No, I don't think that's what I wanted. Oh, that's the light. Alright, hang on. Let's go back to... Can I grab this? Can we grab this? Really? Alright. This is on all. What is going on with this thing? Fine. Unhide lights. Okay, that's better. Alrighty, like I said, it's been a long time. I thought it was biped, and it's not bones. And it's not these things. Dummy, I'm looking for character. Wow, it's been so long. This is why I'm saying I need the practice. It's under extended compound, particle, patch grids, body objects, doors, NURBS, windows, metal array. Let's look under extended. No, it's gotta be under systems. Maybe it's over here. Motion capture. And this is where I would import in motion capture data, by the way. I would use this modifier on an object. Okay, wow. This is motions, hierarchies. This is embarrassing, or is it? No, because it's a rig that I have to create. Wow. Just wow. Alzheimer's has set in. Jeff cannot find the thing he wants. Alrighty. Well, we're going through my modifiers. I know it's not a particle system. By the way, this is how you would make snow and fire and stuff, and we'll get around to that once we get to that point in the animation. Patch grids, body objects. Yeah, we don't care about that stuff. Doors, NURBS, windows, metal array. Yeah, whatever. Dynamic objects, springs and dampeners. No. Stairs. Okay, so it's not clearly there. And it's not going to be a 2D shape, and it's not going to be a light, it's not going to be a camera, it's not going to be a helper, I don't think. Nope. I'm sure someone out there knows what it is, and they're screaming at the screen right now, going, "You idiot!" Bones is not it. I thought it was biped. Yeah, here it is right here. So why didn't it show up when I went to go create it? And then it creates that. It's a skeleton. Oh, male. Oh. I know why. Because I'm a moron and I have bone objects turned off. Told you I was getting old. Okay, well, let's try that again. We want to keep that. But where's Bippo1? I need to grab Bippo1 and I need to delete Bippo1. Okay. I don't know why this is staying here. Let's lights on, lights off. Eventually this went away. I don't know why it's staying put. We're going to remove helpers. There we are. That's for the light. That's why. Okay. So, now that we're back to our usual stupidity, let's zoom in here. Bloop. Nope, wrong button. Beep. There we go. We're going to take an object, and clearly it's going to be bones, which now I have clearly lost where I put it, because, you know, me. Oh. Wow. Where am I? I want to create. There we are. Good grief. I'm going to create a biped. And we're going to use, I like the skeleton. I like it better than the classic too. So, a lot of animators will not use this. In fact, real animators will make their own rigs. I'm going to put his pelvis roughly about, actually, you know what, I can maneuver things. But for now, we're going to put, it's more about where the bip is, which Bippo1 is the center of this rig, which is this highlighted diamond thing here, and where it's placed is rather important. So I know where I want it. So for the start, now what this is going to do, this is going to allow me to attach the various bibs and bobs of Onslow to it. And initially it will work like ass, but I'll be able to put a modifier on him and it'll allow me to animate him the way I need to. Now, he is clearly different proportions than this model, and that's okay. We're good with that. We're going to fix that because I can manipulate the different bibs and bobs as if it were just a normal, well, okay, maybe not. Maybe I have to go in here and modify the pelvis, but let's grab the bip for now. I think the pelvis is one of the few pieces I can't adjust. Okay, what? Alright. It has been a while, and I'm going to have to relearn how to do all of this on the fly with you guys, which is okay. I'm okay with this. That's my biped object, and I want to modify my biped object. Oh, good grief. Oh, it's under motion. Motion. There we go. And we are in symmetrical mode, figure mode. Okay, screw you. You're going back to where I put you. There we go. Alright, now we're in figure mode. You have to do things in a very specific manner with biped, and it's coming back to me. There, see? Woohoo! Now I can mess with it. Don't need it that big. But we also do need to move the bip, which is Bippo1. And put it roughly in his groin. This is his center of gravity for this character. Whoops, not what I had in mind. There we go. Is this local or view? This should be view. Why is it? Okay, let's say local. Okay, there we go. Everything needs to be done local on this. And then if I do height, yeah, that's good. So I want to make sure everything's where I want it, and I don't have to do both sides simultaneously. And I don't have to leave everything exactly where it's at either. Oh, or maybe this one I do. Alright. Its knees are clearly not where I need them. So, whoops, put a knee. Let's put that knee where we want it. Sweet. And then we will put the foot back on the ground. Which I don't know why it puts it below the ground. That always annoyed me. Alright, let's thicken these things up. So this is the skeletal, to use the more British word, system for this character. And I'm going to rotate that foot so it matches. And then we're going to take this piece. It seems to be where I need it. Make it a little wider this way. Let's grab the next one down. A little more mass. Let's grab that foot. And you know what? Let's bring that ankle up. Because we need that ankle in the right spot. Come here, you. Get over here! There's that ankle. That's about right. Alright, so now we can start rotating things a little more into place. They don't have to be perfect, by the way. Just kind of in the general area. I like it to be a little more... Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Alright, you. Let's scale you a little bit more. Alrighty. There we go. And this is just me farting around, trying to get this guy where he belongs. We have to make some adjustments to the model to accommodate the rig, which is fine. We can do that. We have that power. But I want to try to get as close as possible first time out. So I need the foot roughly, very roughly there. Whoops. There we go. Nope. Let's widen the pelvis just a little bit. Thank you. And there we go. That's how we're going to fix that. It's all just pushing things around until they look right. It's like I said, it's like watching paint dry. But then the advantage is once done, we have 3 toes. I don't think we need that much flexibility in him. So let's look at our links. Nope. Let's look at our structure. And let's find toe links. We only need really 1. Let's get the foot where we want it. And then we're going to extend the foot out a little bit. Make sure we're encompassing that heel. And then we're going to take the 2 because he just needs a little love. And actually this foot probably could use a little... Nope, 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 wrong one. Just 1. Thank you. Right, there we go. I should just tell it bone objects only. There we go. So we have the leg where we want it. So I'm going to double click the highest joint in the, and we're going to structure, copy, paste. We're going to copy. Let's see. It's been a while. Got to think about this. Okay, so I want to, should be able to copy. Where's my copy button? A very specific button that I'm looking for. Symmetrical. Okay, let's go symmetrical. Nope. It's not the one I want. Rotation, verticals, horizontals, bend and links. Don't care about that. This is the copy collections. Create a collection, load a collection. Should be a button that I can just click and it'll copy. Nope, don't want that one. Is it posture or pose? Oh, here we go. Copy posture, paste opposite. So I guess we're going to copy posture, paste opposite. Nope, didn't like that. Create a collection, load a collection, delete. You might want me to do this as a pose. No, because pose is the whole rig. I think it's the posture. Okay, let's try pose. Nope, pose. Copy pose. Paste opposite. Didn't like that either. I am forgetting a step in here somewhere. And it has been so long since I've had to play around with this. Alright, so let's create a collection. There's a collection. Yeah. And let's copy that posture. That's what we needed. We just needed to create a collection. And we can put it over there. There. Phew. And then we're going to File, Save As, Character Rig. Now this is a whole completely different one. We are coming into the last 20 minutes or so. I'm hoping you guys are finding this at the very least interesting. Okay, I don't mind this. We do need to make... Can I just do bones? Bones, thank you. Don't want to grab anything else but bones. I'm going to try to get this where it belongs. Oh yeah. We got a little bit of work to do on you, buddy. We're going to rotate this forward a little bit. So I want to make sure everything's where it kind of belongs. Can I move that slightly? Is that allowed? Yes, it is. Sweet! It's the simple things in life, really. Let's grab this. Let's whiten it up a little bit. Just want to get general volumes right now. He's a big boy. I want the chest to be taken up. And I need his clavicles down. There we go. Try to put the shoulder where it belongs. Yeah, I might... This is always a back and forth for me. Trying to figure out where certain bones need to lie for best effect. Okay, let's put that in the shoulder. And then let's generally make this... No, let's not do that. Well, I guess we can. I can just go... Because I need a little more volume there. And then I can just shorten it to the elbow. Again, we've learned. I may have to rotate this to get it in the orientation that I want it. I don't think this is going to let me do what I want it to do. Yeah, see, it won't let me do that. It will let me do that. And it'll let me do that. But it's not quite what I need. This is going to be... And, okay, so this needs to come down. This needs to come up. There we go. Getting better. Or betterer. Not a big fan of what this is doing right now. But we're getting there. Again, I can always modify this model too. So like these things are not exactly where I want them. But like I said, we're just roughing things out. So let's give him a little bit of a so those are a little more centered in the shoulder where I want it. Let's go wireframe on this one too. So whoops. So I can get in here and kind of look at what's going on. It's kind of like playing with hand grenades. You know, you just have to kind of get in the ballpark. But the more accurate you can be, the better off you'll be in the long run. And this is literally watching somebody paint a wall and watching the paint dry. This is a process. Alright, so we need... Alright, I think we're in pretty good nick here. Let's do that. Let's do that. The cartoon character, he's going to have odd proportions. Alright. Now, he's got a single finger. We need to fix that. We also need to fix its position. This is... There's going to be some more refinements of this, but this will allow me to animate the character, make him move around, and do the things we want him to do. I think we're going to... And this does take a little bit of time. You want to try to get this right, because trying to go back and fix this after the fact is sometimes very difficult. And makes life very, very unfun. Okay. So now we're going to go back to our structure. Here we go. We need 3 fingers and a thumb. Can we have a thumb? 3 fingers. Okay. Because I have to say 4 because it counts it as a... So that's our thumb, and these are our fingers. Perfect. And then we need all 3 joints. Finger links. There we go. Now that allows me to make some modifications to this. And we are going to have to move some stuff around, but hey, we're getting pretty close. And when we're done, we'll just copy and paste it to the other side. So okay, you need to be moved to here and rotated out and down. Because that's where our thumb is kind of laying right now. And this is where 3D, what I call getting your 3D goggles on, this is where it's helpful. This would drive you crazy if you just try to start out to do this. So, We've got 5 people. We've got about 15 minutes. We're trying to put fingers where fingers belong. And then we'll work on the joint sizes and so forth and so on. And we'll move him just over just a little bit. Let's drag this one over towards the end here. And this is just a boxed in, system that they've created to kind of help. I mean, most people who do this will do, yeah, this way I want it. Build their own rig, which I am not skilled at doing. I've never had to do it because this covered my needs. But if I wanted to get better, and I do, I'm going to have to learn how to do that. So at some point, I'm going to break down and learn how to rig properly. But that is not today. Yeah, we're going to shorten you up. Put you where you need to be. Work on the local. There we go. Because that should be about there. Is this interesting to you guys, by the way? If so, leave a comment. For those of you seeing this after the fact, I would love to hear your impressions of this process. It's by no means science the way I'm doing it. It's more of a, I really hope I get this right kind of thing. But it's fun. I'm like, as you're seeing, I'm rediscovering. It's like, oh yeah, that's how this thing works. Oh God, where's that button? It's a little bit of panic in my voice going, oh crap, I'm live and I don't know what I'm doing. Well, I never claimed to know what I was doing to begin with, so I'm just in here having fun, trying to remember old skills. There we go. Close. We're going to go view again. Whoops. There we go. Forward. There we go. And I will be adjusting these a lot as we rig. So none of this is set in stone. Just kind of want to get it close. And fingers and hands, just in general, are just rough. But once I get it, I just copy it to the other side, and we're done. I'm going to go ahead and save, just out of paranoia. We're down to our last 10 minutes or so, and I think I'll spin that real quickly because I can see that there's an issue here. Let's get the neck, because he has an interesting neck thing here. So, with that said, we are going to give him 2 neck links. I'm going to take the first one, drag it to the Adam's apple. Take the second one, drag it up to what I think is the base. And then we are going to make this huge, because Anzo has a huge head. And let's tilt everything into place. So bottom neck joint goes forward a little. Nope, wrong one. Goes forward just a little bit. And we take the one up. Nope. Forget what my hotkeys were. Drag this one back in. See, I'm not going to get the jaw the way it is currently. So I'm going to have to do, because his eye line is here. I might have to fudge everything. Let's drag this neck bone down just a little bit. So I really want to try to encompass the chin as much as possible. All right. And then let's rotate that back. It's one of those things where you can just think, I'm just going to dink with this one little thing. It'll take a minute. Next you know, 3 days have gone by. It is... Hey, Spunket! How you doing? Welcome to the Chain Reaction Paint Drawing channel. All right. So, I've sort of got a rig going on here. I can tell there are some issues already, but I will work through these. See, that's the problem. I got his arm out like this, and it's not happy because I can't. This needs to go up so that thumb and everything, but that takes that out of there. So what I might have to do is model a little bit around the rig, work on the model so that it is sitting inside the rig a little bit better, or the rig will sit a little bit better in it, because right now I've got this arm possibly at a wrong angle. So it's an easy fix. In fact, it's so easy, I'm hoping. I hope. That I can grab this, come down to here. Boy, I hope this works. Grab this. That is not going to bend where I want it to bend. I want it to bend over here, but let's... Oh, I got something on that I don't want on. Alright. We're going to make a mess of this arm real quick. Oh, crap. Hate it when I forget this. Alright, let's try that again. Take two. Let's rotate this a little bit. It's going to be messy until we get it right. Basically, it's going to be messy until it's not. And then see what this looks like finished. And I think that's better. I think that's going to be a lot better. Yes. Okay. So, now we're back to just playing with bones. Could do our own IK chains, but I'm not feeling that adventuresome. Alright, so I'm going to save this. I should have put peekaboo. Hey, Dander. I was meaning to boo as I see you and realize you're looking at that. I love the playful nature of my friends. I really do. All right, I got 5 minutes. I need to save this. Let's go ahead and change this to realistic shaded mode, and this is what we're left with currently. We have one arm that's not ready. We're still tweaking the bones and everything in the fingers for this one so that everything lines up a little bit better. But we're close. And then when we're done, there's a modifier that I can put on the body and the head, and they need to be put on there separately, just for control reasons. And then we can actually have Onslow kind of start moving around, see what he's going to look like. I'm going to, let me look at something here real quick. I don't like having the head down like this, but if I don't, I'm going to lose the chin. And I'm wondering if there is, I know I can put a ponytail, which I can move to wherever I need it. But the problem with the ponytail is it comes with built-in secondary motions that may not work well for a chin. But, let's see, modify, over here, motion. There we go. Now I want to see arms, neck links, leg links. I don't think we have any additional triangle neck, triangle pelvis, height, attachment points, which I can play with. So I don't have anything I can really just mess around with. I mean, I can build my own custom rigs and attach things here. But for simplicity, I'm just going to leave this alone. I think this is going to work for my needs. I've been amazing, Spunkat. Thank you for asking. I hope everyone else is doing as well. We are coming up to the last 3 minutes of my stream. And we've made a lot of progress. We've tweaked some details on the boots and cleaned up the van braces. The head was pretty much worked out last stream. Let's put you back into left. And this is where we are with this confusing mess. You did not miss that much. You're getting to see the best part. If I were to hide by type, I would hide bone objects, and this is what we're left with, is Onslow with no eyes or helmet or anything. But we made some good strides in cleaning this character up. Oh, I'm on bones. Let's do this. Here we go. Let's go to big screen. I know this is ghostly Onslow with no eyeballs, but we've cleaned him up. He's still really soft details, and I kind of like that Aardman feel to him. He looks like he's a clay model for the most part. I might cut in some more details, but he very much reflects my cartoon characters, and I like that about him. I might put his other side of his ankle over here just because I think he might need it. There's some tweaking in here that needs to be done because there's some bumps. I can see some shadows that are not needed, so we'll clean those up. The head is a separate object and is designed for morphing so that I can do different expressions with him. When we come back next time, we'll finish the rig and kind of get some rudimentary movement on him so that he can kind of move around. Then I have some canned animations, which sometimes is fun. I'll put them on a rig. These are raw motion captures in some cases, and it'll show me where my model's going to break because it's going to do things I don't want it to do, but I need it to look good no matter what. So we'll figure it out. I'm kind of happy with where he is right now. And we're going to go ahead and save him. And this is where we'll come back. I'll probably tweak him a little bit because I can never leave things alone. Let's do it on hide all. And give him his teeth and stuff back. Let's hide helpers. And here we are. We've added a little detail to the sword. Oops. Oops, wrong button. I keep hitting the wrong buttons. There we go. Oh yeah. Light. The bane of my existence is his light. There we go.
Me?
There we go. All right. Well, thank you very much. He's getting there. He has textures to go, which I don't know if I should texture him before I rig him, because that could be difficult and it has been known to be difficult. So I think once I get the rig fitted to him, we can mess around with making him move around a little bit. But what I'll do is I'll tear all that out, the attachments to the rigging. We'll leave the rig and everything alone. We'll just keep it hidden, and then we'll probably start on textures on him again. I'm going to try. Thank you. I love that British pot helm. Yeah, we got some work on the shield to do. I think the sword's fine. I'm not sure if I'm even going to keep the scabbard. It'll just sit on the character and be annoying to animate, kind of like the shield. He may or may not have the shield when I'm done. That's the reason I haven't done too much with either of them. It's like, I'm not sure if I'm keeping them. But I'm trying to add a little bit of details here and there as I think about them. We added some bells to the boots, which may or may not get a little smoothing on the edges. We cleaned up the van braces, which was a surprise on how those were doing what they were doing. And of course, last stream we worked on the face. So I think I might put a couple of cuts in the helmet here, just little dings, because, you know, he's a grizzled old warrior. I might give him a shoulder pauldron. I haven't decided. And kind of go from there. Maybe a ring, you know, because he's fairly, he's not like destitute, but he's had some successes. We'll show that off. But unfortunately, Onslow is going to have a bad encounter by the time this is all done. But for now, let's bring him into the big. And let's give him a nice little side view here. And let's save him like this. I'm going to come back over to the big camera. I'm going to go ahead and close Onslow so I'm not tempted to stay up later than I need to. Okay, that's turned off. Thank you guys very much for watching me stumble embarrassingly through a piece of software, working on things that I haven't touched in a very long time, and it was kind of fun. I enjoyed it. A little panicky going, I'm trying to show people how to do something. I have no idea what I'm doing. Oh God. Those moments happen. That's part of the fun of this stream, I guess. If you're watching this after the fact, thank you very much for getting this far. Thank you all for sticking with me on this adventure. Do me a favor, thumbs up, thumbs down, doesn't matter. Like, share, subscribe. Give me all kinds of Twitch love. Give me all kinds of Facebook love and all kinds of YouTube love. I'm on all three platforms. I'm a little stepped up. Can't talk right now. This has been a very fun year so far, and it's had a lot of good lessons. Patience being probably the biggest one. So, thank you all for being patient with me. Thank you all for supporting me. I really cannot do this without you. For those of you who want to support me more directly, you can go to buymeacupofcoffee.com/chainreaction. And there you can throw me $5 for a cup of coffee. That's cool. Probably won't go for coffee. I'll probably go towards the computer that I'm going to have to rebuild, because this one's about 8 years old. It's showing its age. And at some point I'm going to have to rebuild. But that's not today. I love you all. And you guys, you are loved. You are deserving of that love. The world is hard enough out there. We don't need to beat each other up, and especially we don't need to beat ourselves up. Yeah, we all need to rebuild our computers. It's a thing. Thank you guys again for being on this journey, and soon you'll be able to buy merchandise from the Chain Reaction store, and the link is there in the description. Oh, I hope maybe we can play as well this week. That'd be nice. The link will be in description over here. All my media links are right there at the top now. If you want to follow me on any of those, please do. And in the meantime, you guys be safe, be amazing, and I will talk at you later. Where's the button? I moved everything around. Thank you.